Sometimes, as luck would have it, I receive gifts, and although this one is marked fragile, well, viewers of this channel know what's going to be inside. It's going to be a book, a game, sent priority mail. Now, the vendor for this gift was Noble Knight, and you've seen a lot of Noble Knight stuff before, and I'm just showing off the box really so that the person who sent me the gift will see in what condition it arrived. Excellent. So, don't panic about this big dent in the side of the box or, things like that. Everything is fine. Of course, marking the box fragile was futile. Once it gets in the hands of the local postal service, it doesn't really matter. But as you can tell, it's tightly packed and everything is a-okay. So, let's employ the dreaded X-Acto knife. Okay, now this is still going to be glued shut, and so we'll pause here as I try and pry it open. Even if I hadn't mentioned that Noble Knight was used, anybody who has used their service will recognize this paper. This paper is a really good idea for keeping books safe in transit, sometimes even better than bubble wrap. Now, why, you might ask? Well, it is really related to just how much paper gets used to wrap up the books. Now, it doesn't look like much right now, but watch with me, dear gamers. Are you still watching? Keep watching. Not yet. Aha! We've made it through. And there's a sealed envelope inside. Now you can hear that jingling. Yeah. What could this be? Before I show you, let's just take a quick tour of the envelope. It's all sealed up. It's that heavy Postal Service paper, a little waterproof, and prevent any trouble from getting to the package should the box get open. And as it's Noble Knight, we'll know that the game inside is going to be sealed up in a Ziploc bag anyway. Now, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get this open by hand, so one moment, please. Okay, it's open, and here's what was inside. It's bright reds and oranges catch the eye pretty much right away. The Ziploc bag, as I mentioned, this is a heavy soft cover book. Well over 300 pages. It's the core rulebook for Ragnarok, Fate of the Norns. And there are a lot of different editions of this game, and different types of this game. This is the Ragnarok version. This is 2nd edition. It's pretty stylized art. Takes a little bit of getting used to for some, and people fall in love with it for others. Very well bound, very heavy cover. So far, I'm quite impressed with the production value of the book. Let's look inside. We have very large print. We have single column for the most part. The same art style persists all the way through. Sort of a dreamlike or mythical feel to it, like a child's imaginings or something you might expect to see painted on a wall 1,000 years ago. Paper is very thick. Here we have a list of backer names. The 2nd edition was kickstarted sometime last year, if I remember correctly. Now, what is this game? One of the things I guess we should say right away is that this is a game that does not use dice, although some versions of Fate of the Norns have. This is a game that uses runes, and if you don't have them, you can order them from the game company. And that's what these are. This is a bag of the metal runestones that are available. There are different types. The bag itself is really quite good. Good action trying to get it open, and and nice material all the way through, inside and out. The stones are a good size, and they're embossed, and there are 3 different colors which go with the 3 different types of stones that get used in the game. So there's red and blue and green. Here's a blue one. They're light, not too light, and have a good feel. They're smooth on the back. They're imprinted with the name of the game on the other side. Let's see if I can get them into focus. There we see, like, there's hammers in the corner and whatnot. So quite thematic, like much of the rest of the game. The hammers and whatnot along the outside edge of the front are raised enough that you can feel them with your fingertip, and the reverse side is very smooth, so it'd be quite easy to identify what they are by touch. If you don't have the company's physical runestones, there's absolutely no reason to panic. They have the last few pages of the book dedicated to the print and play materials, which include the stones, and I get the feeling that this is how a lot of people actually will end up playing, at least until they know if they like the game or not. The Game Master, cast in the role of the Norns, or responsible for fate, runs the game using this playmat, which you can print out. And here's its description of use here. The character sheet is also done in this visual style. Here's the playmat. I'll just turn the book around so we can get a clearer look at it. I'm not going to stretch the book open so you can see everything, but you'll get an idea of this very colorful page and how it's divided up into different sections. We'll talk about this more in subsequent clips as we get into the game. The character sheet is here, and using a lot of Norse iconography to kind of bind things together. We get a little hint or taste of the depths this game offers us. So this will not be a review, but let's take just like a quick tour of the book so you get a sense of how the art style persists throughout and how the information is presented. As you can see, there's not a lot of text on each page, and it's quite easy to read. It has a very conversational style as you go through creating your character. It feels like someone's in the room just talking to you. These days I kind of like this style in a new game. It makes it faster and easier to interpret what's there. You notice a lot of charts. This is how the charts get explained, both visual and in text. And these charts, which I think are called boards, are used to explain what characters can do. And you'll notice that they bear the same size as the runes that I showed you earlier. But we'll get into a discussion of how the game plays and how the game elements are used after I've had a chance to read it and hopefully get it at the table. You may notice a repeated color theme throughout in the text. The red, the blue, and the green. These are tied to the runes themselves, and that's another part of the game that I'm looking forward to digging into more deeply. So really, this is our overview. The game fills 365 pages, I think, of text and image and useful printable materials. How easy it is to reference, I'm not sure yet, but it feels pretty linear as you go through, and the color choices as you go through the book actually make it fairly easy to find a section visually, just looking at at the edges of the pages. Very thematic, very focused on what it's trying to present. Just doing a flip through, I'm starting to get character ideas, and that's usually a good sign for me. I don't know how I'm going to react to the system in play, but that's what I really like to do, is to take a new system and get it on the table. So we'll see what this game is like in the months ahead. And that really wouldn't have been possible without the kindness of the benefactor who made it possible for me to get a hold of this game and the runestones in the first place. So my thanks go out to them for thinking of me and making it possible for me to share this with all of you.